Hello everybody, in today's video I'm going to be talking about the common mistakes I'm seeing. I'm doing a lot of subscriber review. I've already gone through a couple videos and I have a few more to go on the list that you should see popping up this week. What I'm going to do is discuss some of the common mistakes I'm seeing in class setups. I think a lot of people are using different class setups that don't necessarily give them the best chance to succeed. What you're watching in the background is just some random gameplay, nothing special in it. I'm going to cut in different classes so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Because I've seen these mistakes just in these couple videos, and it's just not good mistakes you want to be making. If you want to improve that KD, you definitely got to have the better class setups, not making these mistakes. The first mistake I often see is people running Armored Division or the Resistance Division, or using Expeditionary or even Mountain. None of these ones are actually geared towards you going on longer streaks or getting better at the game. They all have some kind of crutch element to them that don't allow you to actually improve in gunfights. They actually restrict you because they're limited to 2 attachments, or they make you loud or whatever. Mountain maybe is a good one, but you're just moving so slow, it's kind of hard to combat that. So what we're going to do is look at the different classes right here. You can see right here on the screen as I go to my combat record. And you could do the same for yourself. You may see these types of trends as I go over here to the division section. You can see I have a 2.49 KD with the infantry. Airborne, it drops slightly to 2.06. Armored, still decent. I didn't use a lot of playtime, 205. But most of the other ones are sitting around 2, except for resistance, because that's when I was doing all those pistols in hardcore. So that wasn't best bet. But as you can see, they're all around 2, except for infantry. Obviously, I've already done a video on this. If you are interested, I will link that down in the description so you can see why the infantry is the best. Mistake number 2 that people make is people often run streaks that are a little too high. I typically run with the recon plane, counter recon plane, fighter plane or pilot, and then a glide bomb. If you want to go higher, sometimes I use the emergency care package and then the paratroopers. That's kind of the order of streaks that I use. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day, how strong I feel the lobby is. I'm using ordnance, so it's going to bring it down slightly, but for the most part, you definitely got to make sure that you have the lower streaks that suit your play style and your skill level. A lot of times with attachments, I'm going through the video, mistake number 3 is people use FMJ. A lot of people are using quick draw, but they don't actually need quick draw for the type of play style they have. A lot of times it's just mistakes overall as the people are doing is they're using even the wrong basic training. So what I'm going to say is that there's only about 4 or 5 basic training you should use in the entire game. And the first one is lookout, ordnance, requisitions if you really have to, hunker, primed, and those are just a few of the ones that I would say right off the bat. There are probably a few others that can be versatile, but those are the ones that are going to make the most sense for general play styles. Obviously you got to find what best suits you. Some people like hustle and other things, but for me personally, those are my top basic training. And one of the last things I see a lot of people do is actually use non-lethals in their lethal slot. If you're going to hit somebody with it, you're not going to kill them with any of those non-lethals, so why not just use a lethal? If you're hitting them, you probably would have got an extra kill. Just a heads up. So let's get into the classes. I'm going to give you some specific classes that I enjoy using. Might not be perfect for you, but they work really well and should suit you for most scenarios. Depending on the map, obviously you got to switch between which guns you want to use. But for the most part, these are some top good class setups. So don't make the mistakes I've mentioned before, and you won't see those mistakes within these classes. So if you do enjoy the video so far, and we're going to get to those, go ahead and make sure you drop a like on the video. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Go ahead and turn notifications on so you can stay up to date with those videos, because YouTube can be kind of wonky even with notifications. So if you can help me out with that, and then go ahead and leave down in the comment section below if you agree with some of the things I said or disagree, or maybe you have a different perspective on what I've said so far. So let's go into class number 1. And first up, in no particular order, is going to be the STG-44. As you can see right here, I'm using extended mags, high caliber, and rapid fire. Both of these attachments will actually increase the time to kill, or decrease the time to kill and kill people quicker. And then the extended mags will allow you to put more people down and get more of those streaks going. When you come around, you can get a nice little feed. Obviously, I'm running ordnance because I already got 3 attachments since I'm running infantry. The next gun we'll be looking at is the Volkssturm Gewehr. You can see right there it has advanced rifling, high caliber, and then extended mags. You could swap out the maybe high caliber for rapid fire, or, you know, the advanced rifling for rapid fire. Since they did nerf it recently, it definitely feels a little bit better with that advanced rifling, but completely up to you. Another great class to use. Class number 3 is that new LMG. It works perfectly fine. It feels exactly or almost exactly like the Lewis, so you'll see a Lewis class setup as well. But you see right here, I have rapid fire. I don't really like the sight, so I have that reflex sight on. If you don't have a problem with the sight, you can actually switch to maybe grip. And then you can see I got extended mags. Pretty much with every LMG, I use extended mags just because you're looking at close to 100 ammo capacity, which is always nice. And again, ordnance, since I have 3 attachments using infantry. So the next one up is going to be the bar variant Old Captain. And you can see right here I have advanced rifling, extended mags, and then high caliber. You could actually swap out advanced rifling for rapid fire, because advanced rifling only gives it like a 6-meter range boost. It's not huge. I think it bumps it from 18 meters to like 24 meters. So not a huge difference, but some of the maps it does drop your time to kill. For this 5th class setup, I'm going to be using the Lewis land ship. I don't have a problem with the iron sight, so I'm not using a reflex with this specific LMG. You can see I have rapid fire, grip, and extended mag. So for this specific setup, again, infantry, I got my 3 attachments, and I'm running ordnance so I can get those recons faster. So the next class we'll look at is the PPSH with airborne. What you could do is instead of ordnance, you could run primed, and you can have that rapid fire, or you can run this with infantry, and if you're not going to use a suppressor, and you can have those 3 attachments as well. And then this specific class is the exact same one I would use for the MP40, because this gun and the MP40 are very similar in damage profile, rate of fire, accuracy. There's some similarities, there's some differences, but for the most part, these 2 classes are going to be the exact same. Again, it's going to be extended mag, rapid fire, advanced rifling. Those are the ones that I would use if I'm using 3 attachments. If I'm only using 2, these are the 2 attachments I would use. Obviously, combinations of airborne, infantry, primed, and ordnance will be all mixed in. So those are my about top 6, 7, 8 classes right there that you can make in Call of Duty World War II. Obviously, as the meta slightly changes with certain updates, certain things change. For the most part, there's certain guns that have been locked in. I probably would have an FG class if they didn't play around with it so much. I think hopefully if they leave it untouched, maybe I'll use it more often. But the keys to success, or find what works for you. Obviously, I have some classes in here, but nothing's going to guarantee success. You still got to play smart. You still got to move around the map the right way. You still got to know how to play the game effectively, read the map, read the spawns, and then position yourself against your teammates. Obviously, if you're doing all of these different things and trying to get better, and you actually want to get better, you will get better by actually working on all of these different elements. So, you know, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Did you agree with all the different classes I used? I know some of you disagree heavily because I don't use hunker and you don't use armored. So that's completely different thing. But keep in mind that I'm able to cycle through my recon planes faster, get my fighter pilots, get my emergency airdrop, get, you know, different streaks faster just because I'm taking off all those kills with hardline, essentially equivalent. I think for the channel, I'm going to continue to give these types of tips and tricks because a lot of people are requesting those subscriber reviews. So I'm going to continue doing some of those. Hopefully I kind of reduce some of these mistakes down and you guys get better, and I can actually give you updates better and say, hey, this player went from this level to the next level, and we're going to go ahead and make sure that they're at the top of their game. They went from a 1.0 KD to a 1.25 or a 1.5. If you are enjoying the content and you're still watching, you should probably subscribe. You've been here long enough. Go ahead and subscribe with notifications on. Make sure you click the like button, because if you're still watching, you're probably enjoying the video. And both of those things are completely free. A lot of times people get caught up with, hey, you know what, I'm not going to subscribe for whatever reason. Completely free. Obviously down the road, if you want to sponsor the channel, that'd be amazing, but that's a completely different story. Thanks again to all the subscribers for their continued support. If you haven't been enjoying the videos, I appreciate all your support, and the continued success of the channel is heavily reliant on you guys continuing to support the channel. If there's anything you'd like me to cover that I haven't already covered, I know that I cover certain topics more often than others just because I feel like that's what people want to see, but my perspective is completely different because I try to avoid any type of clickbait. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, remember to click the like, go ahead and subscribe, notifications on. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day.